everybody, welcome to I Choose Anime. Today we're going to talk about Pokemon in various capacities. No script, just us and our experience with Pokemon from the games, TV shows, to current present times. One of the most popular anime / mega series around. Yeah.
I thought that was supposed to be a general introduction for all of our YouTube things.
That was an introduction.
Uh, but that's not general.
He meant make a general
Oh,
introduction.
I mean, if you want a general, okay. Hey, everybody.
Uh,
Everybody, you're listening to I Choose Anime. I'm here, Bassett. Yep.
Perfect. All right, that's just great.
That's it. Just put that as the intro.
I'm Bassett. Moving on.
We'll wing it. Okay, we'll make the recording later. Everybody, if you came in to watch this, then you're, I don't know. You must be bored. This is horrible.
Probably.
All right, so yeah, as we said, we're talking about Pokemon today, which we're just going to talk about our general experience with Pokemon from where we started to what's happening now, and then our general thoughts on everything, apparently.
Just an easy rainy day discussion. Nothing nonchalant. So we all grew up, for backstory, grew up in the heyday of Pokemon.
The beginning,
So
the
we
original.
get to say, yeah, the very beginning, 150.
Well,
I wanted to
backdate our ages.
Well, the original for America, anyway. Japan,
Hey, you know
2 years
what,
ahead of us.
You know, we'll be the 90s kids, the meme or whatever. 90s kids remember. So we're the original 150. I wanted to kind of start off with that because
Original 151, Bass, to get it right.
150 until the movie came out. So I wanted to talk about that first because I just got Sword and Shield. I didn't get Shield, I got Sword. And seeing the new Pokemon and stuff on there intermixed with like some of the older ones and stuff. It's like there's also Ruby in there and thrown in, and Silver, and all generation is basically thrown in, but there are a lot of original generation that they seem to cling to. But these new and improved Pokemon, and all of them have a smile, and they're like a meme of cuteness. I don't feel as connected anymore. I don't know if it's my age or anything like that, but
I don't think it has to do. I think it's probably the fact that if you stop playing for like so long, I don't think you could be as connected, or it's not your childhood. It's
okay. Well, they're
not following the story.
Yeah. But there's so many now that they come out with more and more, hundreds of them every year or whatever, however often they come out with a game. By the time they come out with a new game, it's just like, you don't have time to really get a feel for the old game. Like, because back when it was still the 150, it was like you had time with the characters, and that may be something to do with, I'm not a child anymore, so I don't wake up on Saturdays and watch Pokemon.
I don't think you have to. I don't think you have to watch the anime to still be connected. For instance, like I've played like every game so far. Like I just got the one, so I've played everyone. I still connect to some of the Pokemon like I did when I was a kid for the most part, but not as strongly as like those original games. But I still have similar connections to them in a way, and I don't watch the anime because again, I don't. The anime is just. I don't ever really find anime great or particularly good in my opinion. But I don't think you can play the game and still find those connections.
Well, I mean, I like the game. The game is fun. Nothing against the game. But I mean, it's like the actual like new Pokemon, because they introduce those so often that I don't feel like they're giving you any time to really connect with any of them. The same, like, because people have connections with the original ones, like the Charizards and the Pikachus and the Eevees, and everyone knows their names. And now it's like, who the fuck is Raboot? Well, who is this?
Then it's a generation thing.
Why there are like 800 different rabbit Pokemon?
But again, that's more of a generation.
Well, I don't know.
Thing.
I can't see modern generations really connecting with the current gen of Pokemon versus also being into Pikachu and stuff, because it's just that's why they probably put the 150 in it like every single time. There's always the original cast. They never go a Pokemon game without putting the original some of the original Pokemon in it. That's why I still get annoyed with like, why am I still seeing a Krabby after this many years pop up on my damn screen? But like, I don't know. It's just maybe it's just because it's like also the design factor. Because I don't think the designs are as fun for the new ones for like Sword and Shield. Because again, it's just like here's an apple, and that's the Pokemon. It's literally an apple. Like I think there's some like details, like maybe it's an apple with a worm in it. It's versus Pikachu, which is kind of a vague rat thing. But I don't know, they just don't seem as connecting, I guess, now that as they did. Or maybe they're not trying to. I don't know. Maybe it's a marketing ploy.
Again, I don't. I think it's a generation thing because, like, for
I don't
instance,
know. I think it's because
Did y'all both cut out?
I didn't. Shazal was talking. I don't know what happened to him.
oh,
Yeah.
you started talking. That's why I stopped. Go ahead and finish your
So
thought.
it's just dead silence there.
No, go ahead.
Everyone's
I
gonna be
thought I
like,
got cut off for a second.
Go ahead.
Donovan,
Well,
finish your thought.
I can remember it. I'm fine. Go ahead.
I don't think it's, and see, I guess that's why I'm different from Bassett. It's like I don't think it's the fact that I don't have a connection with them. It's just the fact of I didn't grow up with them. I'm not a kid, so having that connection isn't there for me. I made my connection with the Gen 1 and 2 Pokemon, right? So that's where my connection stops. Even a little bit of Gen 3 maybe, but for the most part, Gen 1 and 2 is where my connection of Pokemon was. Kids who are growing up now, their connection will be to Sword and Shield. Like they won't care about like my love for Charizard won't happen for the current generation now. Their love for whoever the hell the fire Pokemon is now, I guess,
it's
is gonna be it, right?
It's a
And
fucking Easter bunny.
yeah, well, and I pick on Charizard because like he is one of the few Pokemon in the history from the beginning who is still a prominent figure, right? Like he got Charizard, then he had a Mega Evolution with Charizard, Dragon Orange and Dragon Black or whatever their names are,
X and Y.
or X and Y, right? And then I think now there's an even bigger Charizard that came out just recently or something,
Dynamax
or
version.
yeah. So like people can still grow up to that, but like
But
that didn't happen for. There's no super extra Mega Evolution for Pikachu. He stops at
there
Raichu.
is.
That's it.
No,
like you
there
know what I'm
is.
saying?
So in the game,
Oh, there is?
there's a
Making
Dynamax
them
version.
big. Yeah, it
But-
just
Of
makes
all of
them
them?
big.
Not all of them.
Yeah,
So
they
they chose specific ones from Generation 1 that still get Dynamax. But that goes to show because like every now and again, like Pokemon does like that poll of what's the most popular Pokemon. And even though like they probably don't grow up with like those original 51 like we did, Charizard, Pikachu, and those still fall in that ranking of like top 10 Pokemon. Like the best one so far is like the Greninja one, like the frog one from X and Y is the most popular Pokemon right now. But I think it is a generational thing because like us, like we grew up with the original one, so we have those connections to it with the anime and with the games. But you can't say kids won't have those connections with them because that's their generation, that's their version of what Pokemon how it starts out. So people who grow up like for instance with Gen 3, that's their generation of Pokemon. People who grow up with X and Y and so on and shit, that's gonna be their Pokemon. So they're gonna have those connections with that. And that's why Pokemon continues on. It continues to be like one of the most popular franchises ever because generation after generation they have new Pokemon for people to connect with or new kids to connect with certain Pokemon, so it's not restricted to anything.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just probably my personal biases of not being in that gen, but I don't even see marketing wise anything beyond the first two generations really. Because like that's why when I'm always so shocked if I ever play a new Pokemon game and I'm like, what the fuck are these characters? Because they don't seem to market them the same way, and I don't know how big the show is
They
currently.
they
I know
market
back
it
in the day it was,
very
but
differently
I
now.
assume it's ongoing. But it's
Like they market it really differently now because I think it depends on they. I've seen this to a point. I do still see Pokemon commercials, but they choose what they market on. Like it's on YouTube where they market the games. They still market the card games a lot. They do market the anime for the most part, but they put it in like YouTube ads for like Fortnite and stuff where kids actually see it. So they actually cater to again those younger fans for certain things. So they still market it fairly heavily and everything. And they have their own Pokemon has like their own little like stream service and everything where you can go and watch their version of like E3 where they publicize the everything they're doing for that year for Pokemon from games, cards, and all that. So they still market really heavily. I think it just depends. Like because we're older, we probably don't see that marketing now.
I mean, we go to the conventions and stuff, and we don't even see them there either, though. I mean, it's still just like
Oh no, they're
trying to find the Charmander pop.
No, they do their own thing
know?
completely. They don't go to like those kind of conventions. They do their own thing entirety.
Well, I mean, even like, well, I'm just talking about like merchandisers and stuff at cons. Even they don't really sell anything new. It's all first gen stuff. If you're still seeing just here's Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Charmander, despite the fact that they make a new starter every time. It's a new people every single time.
Because I think
So
at
it's
those conventions, like especially since it's older, it's like our age people. They are gonna cater and buy those like first generation things. I'm not gonna say I don't ever see like the new generation ones because I've seen like the Pokemon from X and Y and Sun and Moon. I've seen those figures and plushes like at certain conventions and certain shops. They sell them, but I think that's also probably because maybe kids don't buy those because again, kids don't nowadays aren't into like that physical merchandise as much as like we were. Like they're more into like the digital format of everything. Like they're just not into that physical representation of those things. So they might have Pokemon for all we know probably pull back on the physical merchandise because maybe it doesn't sell as well anymore. Kind of ruined.
Still here? Y'all are talking about the new games. I've got nothing to add.
We didn't even talk about the new games. We just talk about a general thing about merchandising.
We can talk about the new games. I like it, but it's also different. I like how different it is. I like that you can see, like I said, I like that you can see the Pokemon, but part of me still likes the surprise. Everything feels like a Safari Zone too, because everything is so new. Because I didn't have X and Y. I guess that's the most recent one, and I think the last one I had that wasn't Sword and Shield was the Diamond and Pearl. Is that right? I didn't have Black and White and all that.
So the Pokemon games, the last ones before Sword and Shield were Pokemon Let's Go with Eevee and Pikachu, and before that was Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Yeah, so I didn't have those. So the last gen I think I had was, I may have had Black, but I don't remember. I think I had Diamond and Pearl though, for sure. I had those. So I've been out of the loop, so it was like an extreme jump from, it just looks slightly 3D, but the same general thing to Nintendo Switch version, which is what the fuck's happening, But and also there's like in that game you can't there's one thing that I am still not used to is the idea that it's like a Flaxy instead of an HM, and there's like you get a bicycle pretty fucking early, and you can just use it anytime you want and anywhere you want.
Yeah, they changed it.
You can use it indoors. It's not a thing.
I think there's certain spots that you can't, but I haven't really tried. But also the bike is like extremely difficult to use, at least from my angle, just because those joysticks are very tiny, so they're sensitive. But there's also you can't use the fishing rod everywhere anymore. You have to use it on specific spots. That's different too.
I love the changes they made, especially like getting rid of HMs and everything. I think that was a smarter and like a better change overall. Just to say, hey, we're not gonna you don't have to take up a slot for your Pokemon to surf or fly, or whatever. You can use them still, but you don't need them. You don't need that Pokemon in your party anymore, like to cut a damn 2-foot bush down to get to the next path.
That's the best part, man. You have to water this dancing tree.
They keep some of those aspects in like the newer games, but I'm talking like just the HMs in general. I just like the fact that they got rid of those because those were annoying as hell. Because you always had like one Pokemon I know every damn HM just like, okay, I need to surf here, I need to fly here, and I also need to cut this down. One Pokemon sleeve, do it all.
I'm gonna need.
Yeah, remember because we had the rock slides and the waterfalls too.
Yeah.
You had the that was the worst thing in the world.
I need them to get rid of Tail Whip I'm really tired. That sand attack, those status effect ones. I've always been they all need to be attacks on my Pokemons. Like I've never had status effect
I think
anything.
that plays on something I think I don't, none of us will ever dive into or ever experience. Is like those competitive things, because those are more competitive use moves. Like, like let's say we don't like uh they don't put so many commercials out like for us anymore, but they still have those like competitive worldwide Pokemon things like from the card games and to like the virtual games. Like they just have those things every year or like every few months. They still have that going on. And those
Yeah, but I don't
moves,
think you need a market like you had to when we were younger because
probably not. No.
Pokemon is established now. Like
Yeah.
you can't go anywhere without, for the most part, somebody knowing about what a Pokemon is. Even though your mom might think all of them are Pikachu's, at least she knows Pokemon exist.
But even
So they
then,
don't have to market. They just have to market. Hey, we're not marketing the Pokemon. We're marketing what we've done new
yeah,
in
but I
Pokemon.
don't even think they have to like merch. Like even then, like saying when your mom doesn't know what Pokemon is, like our moms didn't, but now today's moms, like people our
Yeah,
age, know what Pokemon are
our age who
because
are parents. Yeah,
we
so
grew up with it.
that's what I'm saying. It's like you don't have to market like you used to. Like you don't have to know who the
Because
newest Pokemon is. You don't have to know who
also
the legendaries are. Right?
you
You only
gotta
have to know this is what we updated.
you also gotta think like maybe that's why they don't market as much because they know like people our generation will market it for them because we would probably sit like anybody who has kids our age will
Well,
probably
because
sit
we're the
down with
parents now.
yeah we would sit down with our kids and watch the anime with them trying to figure out what's changed or buy them the game because
Or
Or
why you
give
ever
clearly,
them that
liked it.
connection.
Or why you ever liked it to begin with.
yeah, like clearly you're the ones that are we're the ones that are buying these games now, either for our kids or for ourselves. So
Yeah.
like they don't have to market like so heavily to anybody anymore. They just have, like I said, hey, we have it on a new generation console, and here is how it looks.
And you also
Buy
gotta
the game.
think when you
Okay, cool.
when they put
That's
out
what
the
y'all pretty much
Switch.
did. Y'all got
Yeah,
the Switch, and the first thing y'all did was buy Pokemon.
yeah, that's another thing. When you put out a new console, they literally initially know like, hey, Pokemon's our go-to franchise. Let's put that as one of the first
Yeah,
games on it and
like
make it like a thing. Like,
you knew. I mean, clearly, I mean, Bassett literally said it. Like he didn't know much about it. He just got it, and he's liking all the stuff that's in it. But he didn't have to know anything about it. He saw the words Pokemon.
Well, it's
Cool.
also
Let me get it.
it's a copy and paste method. It's just different designs. So
Yeah,
it's the same.
different
They're doing the same.
animals.
They're doing the same thing. There's just slight tweaks and changes here and there. I mean, this is the most different game I've played, but at the same time, it's like
You skipped a
back
few
when the
generations.
yeah, but back when they're like the GameCube was out, there was like some Pokemon Stadium game that was very similar to this kind of thing. If I
talking about
can
Pokemon
look up,
Coliseum or are you talking about
but
Pokemon
it was that
Stadium?
same kind of ideal. Not Stadium. It was a walking. It was like an open world Pokemon game, just like the Game Boy games were,
I know what
but it's structured in much the same way this current gen is. Um, gosh, what's it called? I don't know. It
there's
was.
Gale
I
of
think it was
Darkness, and I think it was
Coliseum.
Stadium.
Actually, I think it was Coliseum.
Let's see, because I'm pretty sure I know it's Gale of Darkness was the other GameCube one.
Yeah, they. I think yeah,
It is Coliseum. It's
based on what they're
Coliseum, and
getting.
then the second one was Gale of Darkness.
So I think that game is structured very similar to how this current one is, where it's just that kind of walk around an open world and find Pokemon and catch them. It was, I mean, of course there were different games, but it reminds me of that a lot because it's not exactly like the games, but it's close enough to where I
Do
know
you have the
what's going on.
ability to go to the different regions of this game, or are you stuck in the
You're stuck in that one
whatever
region.
the fuck the region this is now?
Yeah,
You're stuck in
can't
that
even, I don't even know the Galar or something.
Yeah, it's Galar.
Galar?
So I think again, because this is probably besides Pokemon like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, where they just revisited Kanto and everything. This is still them kind of trying out new things on the Switch for them. So I think because people have been asking for like a Pokemon game where you can visit all of the regions, which even that by itself, that's a large. That would have to be a big
sounds
map. That would be huge.
like an undertaking.
Yeah. So I think that's
Sounds
that's a
stressful.
lot to ask for. So I don't think that's ever going to really happen unless they
I want
make
it.
it. Everybody wants it, but I don't think that's going to realistically. I don't think that's going to happen. But it would be cool. But I don't think that you're ever going to get that type of game unless they make it like I don't know. I don't even think you do even like an open world like Like I don't think you could do it like
An
what's
open
the
world. It'd be like a World of
GTA
Warcraft type of thing,
Yeah.
online specific.
Yeah, so I don't know if they could do something like that, then maybe, and they probably have the capacity to do it now with the Switch, but that's a lot of time and effort that they're going to have to put into that.
I'd pay for that if I could go everywhere, and I don't have to buy 2 different games to collect the other fucking Pokemon.
That's the unless
they can't do that, bro. You gotta buy both.
No, you don't have to buy both.
Or you gotta have friends, or you gotta buy both.
I don't have friends, so I'm not buying both.
Yeah, we're not trading with you. Those are my Pokemon.
But no, I would love that type of game. Even though like the one thing I think I still want from any game is the Pokemon that follows you around, like from Gen 2, and they've done that.
Yellow.
Not from Yellow, no, from like Silver and Gold, which they've done it.
Yellow did that.
It was just Pikachu, I believe, that followed you.
Yeah, I think in that one,
It was just
Don
Pikachu.
was talking about, you can have anybody follow you.
Yeah, they've done it twice after that. They did it in a remake of Soul and Silver, and they did it in, I guess in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Pokemon can follow you around. You can ride on them too, but they haven't. I don't think they don't bring that function back enough to where it should just be a casual thing in any Pokemon game now. But they don't do it very often.
I'm surprised it's not just like a thing that they do now.
Yeah,
like you could just have the option to have something follow you around.
You would think it would be, but they don't for some reason. It's kind of weird.
I wonder if it's like a coding thing.
It might
Maybe
be.
it doesn't fit.
Well, no, because they've proven they could do it on the Switch now because they did it in the games before Sword and Shield. So
Didn't Eevee do that?
Let's Go Pikachu and
Is
Eevee.
that
Yeah.
the one you're talking about?
Yeah, those they have Pokemon you can. Literally, for instance, like if you take out Charizard, you can ride on it in the sky, and that's it the entire time on the map. So they have the capacity to do it for some reason, but
Nobody
they don't do it.
wants to ride on Charizard.
Shut up! Like anybody wants to ride on your
You shut up.
Venusaur.
The fire lizard.
Actually, like we said, we started with the original 151 Pokemon. Our first games were like Pokemon Red and Blue, or Green if you're from Japan. Like my first Pokemon was obviously Charmander, and that's the Pokemon, like I said, we have that bigger connection with them because that's the ones we started out with. But I know Shazad's answer is already Charmander. Like that's what we started out. But I always forget who Bassett chooses for his starter.
Because nobody cares.
I picked Bulbasaur because I picked Bulbasaur when I was a kid, because everybody else got Charmander, or Squirtle. So my logic was, if I get this one, then I can be that kid that has the Pokemon nobody else does.
Or wants.
Well, that wasn't the case then. Because back then there were 3 games. Most people owned all 3 because they wanted at least each of the starters, and that was a big thing when I was a kid. Everyone wanted all of the starters.
It's still a thing now.
And stuff. Yeah, I mean, I still do. At this point, I don't really care, but
I just want to fire starters.
Yeah. So I mean, most of the time I would also have the fires because, like I said, I have owned pretty much. If I get a Pokemon game, I will own all of the colors within that gen. So if there's a red, blue, and yellow, I would own red, blue, and yellow, and then I would pick a starter for each. I guess yellow didn't give you a choice.
No, you always got Pikachu. So it was weird because I was very lucky.
So
the fact
I
that
would always have all 3, and it didn't change the story or anything. It's just a matter of elemental, what elemental you have. But I mean, it's not like a one of those Man of Medan games where your choice matters in the end. But but it's just a fun thing that everybody wants to do typically, until they introduced breeding with Ditto, making Ditto a sex slave, and then you could have as many as you wanted.
I was very lucky because I had my brother and my cousin to trade with when I was younger, so I was able to get all 3 of them. So I didn't buy like both of the games. I didn't do that until later when I did play them, but even then I didn't have to do that because at one point Pokemon introduced like trading online, where you could just put a Pokemon up for trade. Now you could just get and ask for a specific Pokemon to trade with. So even then, you don't need to buy both of the games. So they made it really universal where you don't have to buy both of the games. You can still trade even if you don't necessarily know the person you're trading with. So they made it very accessible to get all the Pokemon.
Right. Yeah. I don't think I've had one since they implemented the online stuff, so I can't really speak to that because I don't. Pearl or whatever, Black,
Flag.
Diamond, Pearl, whichever one it was, they did not have the online yet. I don't think they did. I don't remember it having online.
I never played online.
I don't think I knew anybody that had online DS capability.
It was very janky back then.
That's
too.
part of it. I mean, that's when you're a kid. Yeah, when you're a kid, I mean, it's you have to have the friends to do that. I was not one of those kids that had the friends to do that. So I would buy several. I would own 2 Game Boys, and if I wanted to have a Pokemon that was in blue that wasn't in red, I would do it myself.
Trade it yourself.
Yeah, and then I would snap like Thanos and 50% of the population. But that's just how I operated since I was a kid. So it's just a habit to have both versions. Also, because I always wanted both legendaries, and I hated that the main legendaries were win and one or versus the other and stuff like that.
But at the same time, it's annoying. But at the same time, it's very smart on their part to do that because I think one, yes, they sell more games. That's the obvious reason why they do it. But two, it's also it invokes the fact of get out and kind of meet people who shares like the interest of Pokemon, trade, all that kind of thing. So while it was obviously a market ploy, it's also very,
sociable. It's like Pokemon Go. Yeah. So that was one of the biggest social events in recent memory. Actually, probably ever. At least in my experience, one of the most awesome experiences just to be able to walk outside and there's 500 other people by a Dallas museum. Oh yeah, Texas, I guess, replacing our location.
Well, thank you, bastard.
But it's so cool to go to like just a museum and have 500 to 1,000 other people be there with the same exact interest and the same exact reason you're there.
Yeah,
such a cool social experiment. But you don't get that with the Game Boy games and shit. I mean, you'd have to talk back then. You couldn't announce that you were into Pokemon.
I don't think you had
like
to.
Most people were already getting bullied. Like, I want to say that I'm into this.
I don't know. I think as a kid, I think that's probably one of the more acceptable things if you were like into those games. Like, because I remember for the most part, like in elementary school, people came with like the kids brought their Game Boy. They brought their Game Boys or the cards. Whoever knew how to play that damn game, they brought them to school to play with. And it was just that thing of everybody's into this because it's just that popular as a kid.
This stuff wasn't commonly accepted then. I mean, it was when you're a kid and you're going to daycare. If you're like below the age of 10 and you're in elementary school,
that's what I mean.
Probably.
But
once you get to middle school and you still have an interest in this stuff, you couldn't have said anything.
You're an outcast at that
point. You were a weirdo if you had a Game Boy on your bus, even though secretly you're like, damn, I wish I could talk
like
to that guy, but then I get bullied.
It was also very
that's
weird.
That's how it was
too.
then. It's always like that.
It's weird because everybody else knew they liked Pokemon.
Cool kid if you had you were a cool kid if you had the 80-pack CD case in your backpack. People could flip through just a bunch of CDs from the 80s and such. But
no, I think now it's more acceptable now, which I think is really good because now you could just have your interest in, even like not. It's still gonna happen. Some people are gonna get mocked for it, but you can have your interest and not give two shits now. Like, hey, I still play Pokemon and be like, fuck, I can play Pokemon because who cares?
That's the
benefit. Well, you can now, but you gotta wonder if like the kids nowadays go through the same problems we did as kids.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they do it to a point because things don't always things repeat regardless. So there's gonna be that stage of this is cool as an elementary school, but once you get into middle school, high school, you're looked at as outcast for playing it. But I think it's those things always repeat. But eventually,
I mean, some of that is with just school in general, like how the climate is in public school and such. But also, the times have changed where people. I mean, when we live in a generation where superheroes are the most popular franchises, so that never would have happened when I was in grade school sneaking around playing Pokemon. Back then, that wouldn't have been acceptable. I mean, they had superhero things and stuff. They had the Raimi Spider-Mans and such, but
it wasn't widely accepted.
Like, we live in a generation where it's okay. Yeah, if you go to a coffee shop and you want to sit down and read the Batman's Court of Owls comic, nobody would really bat an eye at it anymore because it's more common, it's more accepted. I think people are just more willing to announce their interests, and it doesn't matter whether or not it's made for kids or not. It's just at that point, it's just whoever they like that. Okay, well, I guess they like it.
Yeah, because even now
Who
you can
gives a
see
shit?
grown people who go, regardless if they're sitting somewhere or going to like the airport, they're playing Switches. No, it could be Pokemon, it could be whatever it is. They're freely playing it now, and it's like you don't bat an eye at it because all right, I don't give two craps. It's just
well, I
what it
mean,
is now.
it's the Pokemon Go phenomenon. It's the same kind of thing. It's just suddenly people that you had no idea that were interested in this thing have publicly announced their interest in it, and it's just wow. I didn't realize people were so either not vocal about it or were avoiding being vocal about it, and then now it's everywhere, and it's completely okay to like that stuff and be vocal that you like it, and whether or not somebody judges you about it or not, fuck them, who cares?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore because they are if they hate it or they think it's dumb, or the Chads of the world are the minorities now, because we live in a Avengers world where, again, superheroes run the world, comic books, anime, all that stuff. It is in our pop culture everywhere we go. And Pokemon has a lot to do with that because of that Pokemon Go phenomenon and shit. And because of Iron Man, unfortunately, being the DC fan. But
unfortunately, my butt, you can take it back. You and Batman and Bulbasaur could piss off.
Yeah, Batman. This world needs a Batman right now. But anyway, but the games. Long story short, I like the new ones. They're fine. It's just it's a little jarring to try and learn. I don't think I'll ever really learn the new people, like the new gen or whatever, because my mind's always in the original Indigo League.
I think the other problem is like you're learning a new game, a new generation, and on a new type of console. Because like you're right, like I think you guys talked about it. Like you guys having to play on like the big screen TV with two joysticks is a lot different than playing on a Game Boy in your hand, like a handheld, like a phone.
Yeah, that's why I'm inclined to play it in my hands, like because the Switch can, I guess, switch,
you can do both,
so to speak.
But like it's a whole different experience when you're trying to like you're looking at your big screen TV and you're like, what the fuck is happening here? Like, it doesn't feel as intimate as it did when you were like a kid just sitting on your, bed playing the game.
Yeah. Trying to sneak in a Game Boy Light so your mom doesn't catch you.
Because it's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
I actually love the big screen thing because I actually do play mine on the big screen because it also describes like how much it's really changed. And now I can actually see it on the full screen rather than just on, the small, like, 8x8 monitor, whatever the fuck the size of the Game Boy was. Because it's also weird because you got to remember, we came from the generation where it was black and white on this small screen in this box of a game. And damn Game Boys was so thick.
Little Ash.
Yeah, it was so weird. But it's really weird the fact that we came from black and white playing on a brick to now it can be on a full flat screen TV, playing it like this now. So it's
I do have to ask this question. When you start the game, does whoever the professor is, does he still ask you if you're a boy or a girl, or does it just let you pick the option?
It lets you pick at the beginning,
let you pick
before you even get into it.
So it's not like when you first got into the game and Professor Oak was like, "Are you a boy or a girl?"
Yeah, yeah, because a science professor cannot tell the difference. but it's just you just pick your gender when you start the game. It doesn't, and then it goes into
leaves it alone after that.
Yeah,
but it's weird because even in Pokemon Red and Blue,
just fun, like all the memes that came from that.
Red and Blue, they didn't have a gender. They just had it was just a boy. I think they didn't make a gender until what? Gold and Silver was the first time that you choose a gender.
Gold and Silver.
Yeah, I think that was the first time that you choose a gender. But also,
my favorite game of all was Sapphire, because before it got like corrupted, I had almost all of the Pokemon on there. I was so sad when it got corrupted, and I couldn't fucking.
You know what?
Lost
that
all
happened
of it
with fucking blue version for me because I did some like cheat or whatever to find that
Oh, that's your
infinite
fault.
Pokeball thing. Well, everyone did that. Come on, you did too.
I did not do it.
But
I didn't.
You know, you tried to get infinite rare candies.
I didn't
"Well,
actually.
make
I didn't
this card
cheat.
of 100."
I didn't cheat, bro.
Gold, silver, and crystal. Gold, silver. I had all three.
Well, I don't
And
think
I
you
would-
can even do that. You couldn't even implement that cheat, I think, until you
No,
could beat the
I-
Indigo.
But I got all the Pokemon. There was a few more left, but I guess I had stopped playing. And then years later, I went and tried to go connect my shit to my Game Boy, and it just said data corrupted. And then the stupid I'm like, no. So I kept turning it on and off. I did the old school blow into it. I threw it. I kicked it out my damn. I was so pissed. You know how many hours I just think about how many hours I spent on that and just went
Yeah,
away.
it's so weird because the one thing I do, I'm a little upset with because I lost my original. Like my favorite game back then was actually Pokemon Crystal, but
Crystal was my favorite.
yeah, Crystal.
It was see through too.
Yeah,
No,
it was amazing.
Sapphire?
What's-
Crystal was Sapphire.
Crystal, because
Yeah. It
Sapphire
was the only one I think that was see through, right?
Yeah, at that point, yeah, because all the other ones were
And you
in,
got-
like, solid colors.
And you got Suqueen at the beginning of the game.
I'm sorry, who?
The dog.
Sequence.
Sequence.
I know I can't even say the name right because Sweet.
I don't know how to say the name. I was not in front of me.
Suicune.
You act like I was way off. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You're so far from the truth.
But no, it was like the only see-through one. But no, I remember because I lost that game like after like Hurricane Katrina and everything. So I was really upset because like I had all the ones from like red or blue on Crystal, and the fact that I lost all of them was ridiculous. So I'm like, oh, this is bullshit. I can't get these games back. But oh shit, I hit something. I was about to say something. I don't remember. Okay, yeah.
The worst memory ever.
So now what they have is you can keep the Pokemon in the original game, but now they have it to where you can put them on, I think it's either Pokemon Home or Pokemon Bank or something, and you can transfer them from all the old games that you had to the new ones. So
Yeah, they have that on the Switch.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
It's really cool because
Wait, how do you? What?
yeah. So like
I don't know how to connect the other ones though, but yeah,
so the
maybe
original.
they have a.
Because I was able to do this because again I've been playing like most of the games from then, and I've replayed some of like my older games. You can transfer them pretty much all through the network from now on. So like if you have, I think what was the DS? I think it was already a DS before the 3DS, where they had two cartridges on it where you could put the Game Boy Advance game or Game Boy game in there in one slot, and you could put the DS game in the other slot, and you can transfer them that way. And
Right.
I've done that all the way up to like the new games because I kept putting them like to the new version every time. So one because I didn't want to lose them, or two because to complete like the Pokédex for it. Even now, like I've done it with the Switch now because I can still transfer them. So it makes it really easy now to where you no longer lose the Pokemon that you start with. So I think that's really interesting because you can always
Did they keep their levels and everything?
Yeah, they keep everything. Like they
Oh,
won't
then I'll just
downgrade.
transfer my Charizard and be done with it. I had an army of Charizards. That's I had 6 Charizards every time I play.
Even
Thank God for
That are-
Ditto. Thank God for that Ditto being able to just constantly make starters.
even I remember
Just
recently, like I think 2 years ago, they put Pokemon Red, Blue, Crystal, and like Gold and Silver on the DS like as a virtual one, and I bought that one because I'm like I can play the virtual one now that I don't have like the original Red and Blue.
I have it somewhere. I don't know where, but it's somewhere.
Are you sure I think it's still gonna work?
No, I'm almost guaranteeing it won't, but I have it. Nostalgia purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's another nostalgia purpose that I just have for whatever reason is the thousands? I think, oh no, hundreds. Maybe I say 1,000 cards that I collected, mostly all energy cards for no reason.
That's all it ever was.
It's all the yellow one. It's always the yellow one.
Did y'all ever
Go
know how
away.
to play that game?
No,
No,
I still don't.
I
I'm
made it up.
no, yeah, I just it would be like a rendition of Goldfish. Whoever picked the strongest one and put it on the table, that's how you won.
Yep.
These are mine now.
I never even tried. I know my brother collected the cards, but I never tried to learn it or anything.
I'm missing a few from the original, I think, but I think
Now, if you have the original Charizard, you're set.
I do. The holographic one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took me forever to find that motherfucker too. He's the only one I have, and I have like the legendary Mew or something.
You
I
talking
don't
about the
know.
Mew card that you got from like the movie?
Nah, I never actually got that card because I never went to the theater to go see that movie.
I did. That
saw
was
that
really
movie
cool.
like 8 times just to get the card 8 times.
I just went to it once.
I
I'm
never
like,
went
it was
to-
real dope.
My parents never took me to the movie, so I never went to the actual movie to go get the card.
Because I think they would also give you like a gold coin or something, or maybe that was
Yeah.
McDonald's.
McDonald's had to go coins because there's like
Yeah,
I think there were like 7 or 9 of them.
I would insist on going to McDonald's despite the health.
No, I went,
but I would always
I
go
got the-
just to get as many or get them all if I could.
I did get the not the coins, but like little square
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
things.
Yeah,
Oh,
those-
that okay, yeah,
those gold
that I do have.
bars.
I think I had like all of them.
I had all of them. I know I kept going back because the only one I wanted was Charizard, and a lot of times I kept going back and I didn't get Charizard. I went back so many times. I kept going to McDonald's just because give me Charizard. I didn't care about all the other ones. I still had them, but
Oh, welcome back. Here you go. Here's your little gold coin. It's fucking Bulbasaur.
God damn it, give me Charizard.
God, this Venusaur ass out of here.
But no, I did. At one point, I did get it again because I lost all of that, like all those things now, which sucks. But that's weird.
Yeah.
Did you guys get Switch Online? Like the subscription,
no.
like PSN and stuff,
No.
to like play with each other. Oh, I don't know.
You have to pay to play online.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I bet they have a
thought it was.
plus program like PSN does.
Yeah, I think it's like $20 or something for the year.
Yeah, because I can connect without. I think it connects without a subscription, but
I think it's like PSN, like you to play online with other people. You can get online, but I think it's like
I haven't even
Unless you
looked
have
at that. I'm just enjoying the playing of.
Yeah, I actually didn't know
until
that. I haven't.
get Breath of the Wild, and then I'll finally play that.
I actually didn't know you had to
So-
play online. So that's weird.
who did y'all pick for your starters and sword?
Fire.
The fire one. I always go fire, man.
He's also
I didn't
the
know,
only
man.
one that looks interesting. Although some of them have cool final evolutions, because that's always what I look up. Because I've learned from the past games that sometimes if you pick the cool looking one at the beginning, they look like shit on their final, or vice versa. Like the ugliest one looks like the coolest when they're a full, like the final evolution. Because the final evolution is all I care about at this point.
Yeah,
But I got
I don't
the
know
fire
that.
one.
yeah, I went with the fire one, man.
So what is that? Like a
It's a bunny.
Yeah,
Groki? Okay, Score Bunny and
Groki. I
So-
think the other one was
I
Sabo.
don't know.
So yeah,
What the fuck do they turn into?
one turns
don't
to a
know.
bigger bunny, one turns to a bigger ape, and the other one turns to a bigger lizard.
I'm trying to look it up. 'Cause I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Let's see.
Because I'm eventually going to get it. I just don't know. I'm not getting Shield, by the way. Not gonna do
You're
it.
getting shield.
Yeah,
Not
to get
getting
shield
shield.
because me and Donovan got sword.
Unless
So-
unless one of y'all want to pay for it, I'm not getting Shield.
I already told you if you buy the Switch,
Oh,
I'll
no,
buy
no,
you.
no.
I'll buy you shield.
I'm not buying Shield by myself.
Why don't you just
I don't
buy a
really
Switch and
like
buy
the
it and buy
starters
shield
this time
for
around. They-
get Stephanie's shield?
Why would I buy two Switches?
I didn't say buy 2 Switches. I
I
said
think
buy
this
the
time
both
around
games.
the starters are.
Didn't even say buy 2 Switches. Just buy both
I
the
like
games.
the water one's final though.
Nobody cares what you like, Bassett. We're talking about Switches over here.
I'm talking about the starters still.
I don't know. I think besides clearly the original starters, did you guys have a different generation of starters? I like the monkey one,
The monkey.
the fire monkey,
Infernape.
Chimchar.
Cyndaquil. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm about to say Cyndaquil is probably one of the better ones.
I didn't like his final evolution. He looked kind of weird, but Torchic was just like a giant fighting
That's
chicken.
the thing.
That was
It's
pretty
very
cool.
weird because I liked every fire starter up to a certain point. I think like up until what was the one after?
I didn't like
Gen
the
3?
pig one.
The pig one I hate. I hate
I
that
don't like
one.
the pig one.
The pig one sucks.
That's why I got the grass one. I got the grass one for that one too.
I got the water
Although I
one for
like
that
the
one.
polar bear too.
I actually like the water one for that one.
I like
Wasn't that the
grass.
ninja?
No, that one was
No,
the
that was,
the
a
water
bear
one,
or something.
the water one for that came with the pig
Oh, it's
was
otter.
yeah, it was the otter. What the fuck was the name?
Looks like an otter. I don't know.
Oshawott. That was the starter name.
The grass one looks the weirdest in that version.
That's my favorite one is the grass one in that version, and that starter one.
He looks the weirdest in his final.
Because I didn't like the chicken, so I picked Trico. Also, he was in the series, the anime, so that's why I picked him on that one too.
So I played 1. I got Charmander. 2. I got Cyndaquil, Torchic, and Chimchar, of course. Then I didn't play anything after that.
Although I did in the second gen, though, that's the one that I've had all 3 because I like all 3 of those.
Yeah,
I like Cyndaquil. I like Totodile. Totodile's badass. His Feraligatr or whatever is so cool.
Yeah, it was super giant alligator, and then you got the Typhlosion just looked the weirdest. I don't know. I didn't like him when he was on.
He was very huggable.
Yeah, I didn't like him on like high. Like if he was on all if he just stayed on all 4 legs instead of being on his 2, I would have been fine. But Cyndaquil was, I think, the cutest one of all.
I think you said that
Because
for
he
a lot
was
of
blind.
Pokemon
I feel
now.
like never opened his eyes.
You could say that for a lot of Pokemon now. If they would have stayed on 4 legs, it would have been better. But for some stupid reason, Pokemon keeps putting them on 2 legs, but making them bipedal for some stupid reason, which I don't get.
Because it's the 5th and 6th one that I don't really care for. 5th and 6th gen, because I guess the last gen had that one with the tongue wrapped around his head.
That's Greninja. So I don't think that was 6th gen.
That's 6.
Was that 6th? I'm sorry, that would be
X.
That was X and Y.
Y'all are 8.
Yeah.
So 6 was the ninja. The pig, fire pig, was in 5. And then there was a cat.
No,
for 7. For fire. There was a fox for fire for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like the fox, but I don't like his final.
The fox was horrible. That was a bad one. I still like it, but still not the best.
The only fox that's ever been cool was the Ninetales.
So
I like how unoriginal they were with that name for Vulpix, Ninetales. Okay, cool.
Vulpix is everywhere in this game too. In this new game,
I like the new Vulpix they have because they have the one from
what is it? Nitpick or something?
What?
Are you talking? Oh,
I'm talking about the Loden version where it's an ice type rather than a fire type.
Oh, I see.
I'm not talking about the new fox, not the new fox one. No, not that one. So in like Gen 7, they made an ice type for Ninetales. Let's see.
Running out of ideas.
You're running out of ideas? Oh, they're running out of ideas. I don't know if you like. It's weird because if you look around like the Pokemon community, I guess people make a lot of fan versions of Pokemon, and if they would have paid those fans, if they paid the fans to like use the designs, they would never run out of ideas like ever.
It got like progressively more cutesy rather than dragons. You know,
I don't know because in
what we liked, ferocious monsters battling.
We wanted more Rayquaza, less small insects.
I don't know if
you know, again, because no more Weedles.
I think it depends. Like if you
smiling sheep. I mean, some people I'm sure love that stuff, but
because y'all
everything
in
Sword and Shield smiles. Except for Farfetch'd. Farfetch'd is the only one that does not smile.
Because you don't play the rest of the games, y'all didn't see this other thing. They came out with like some weird ones where they're just like pure aliens, and they look really fucking weird. Like I can't remember what they're called. They're called.
Well, I still play Pokemon Go, and I randomly catch some shit that I'm like, what the fuck is this thing?
No, I'm talking about like these things like really fucking weird. Like one looks like just a fucking block, and one looks like a fucking clown.
Your mic is breaking up there, Donovan.
Yeah, I don't know what you just said.
Better?
There we go.
Didn't do anything. But no, some came out like looking like damn aliens. One looks like a fucking clown, the other one looks like a pile of... It's just weird. Some of their shit became really fucking weird later on.
The app, when I saw the apple show up on my screen, I almost deleted the game. It's just an apple.
Returned.
Well,
yep.
It's kind of weird.
Excuse me, sir. I don't want this.
because we say like the new ones look weird, but at the same time you gotta remember the original, like the original ones we grew up with weren't very creative either. One of them was just a fucking
They all look
magnet.
like animals.
The thing, the muck thing was just a bunch of, it was just chewed up bubble gum.
Still look like something I can relate to.
Yeah.
How do you relate to some of this shit? There's a genie, right? A genie octopus thing.
Just a
Genie octopus. What the hell are you talking about?
Some weird, but what is this? What did you just send?
It's an apple. That's a Pokemon.
Oh yeah, that one. That's like, I think
I'm
it's
looking at all the legendary ones, and they were kind of weird too. Like there's a legendary for everything. Also, I don't know how like
a pie I saw or something too, and there's a
we
lot
saw
of
the
random
ice cube
stuff.
penguin.
That's the best one. What are you talking about? It's like the ice cream one for you.
I love the ice cream Pokemon. It's the best one. I don't know, man. I'm looking at all the legendary Pokemon too, and it's just I'm like, what are some of these things? Like, what are you?
I miss the days when they had the dogs and stuff. Like that you had legendary Pokemon on top of legendary Pokemon.
I don't, because at
Or
one point
you
they,
have to
they
go
made too
find
many of
them.
them.
I like that. Put as many as possible.
I don't.
Everything is legendary.
They made too many at one point. I don't think I like. I like the what they did with the like the in Gen 3 where you had to go find them, like do puzzles. I like that part, but they made too
Oh,
many.
is there still
Ruby and
unknowns in the
Sapphire?
game?
Wait, what?
Unknowns.
Are there still unknown in the game?
I haven't seen any.
They haven't added to them. They only made like the original 28?
No, I'm saying they're in the game.
Yeah, they're in the not in this. I
26?
don't know about this one. I haven't gotten that far yet. No, they should be.
Because I love that. I did love that. Like you had to go into the unknown underground thing and like
There are
solve the mystery, fall through a hole, and then you could catch it
There are 28 unknown.
or catch them. Are there?
Yeah, because you got the original, like the 26 with
26
letters, and then the two, like
and
one's
then
an exclamation
exclamation
and a question mark.
Of course.
So there are 28.
I think Ruby and Sapphire is the one that probably added too many legendaries because they had the rocks.
that's where
birds.
I think that's where they started, but after that they kept adding more.
Because they had the three rock things. They had the ones that were like the dogs that ran everywhere. I don't remember their names.
Latios
Blue,
and
red,
Latias.
bird. Thank you. And then the main one, which was just Godzilla. So
Then they had that one also had like the Deoxys, the little alien one. So they had the third generation did have a lot of them. But like I'm going through like the list of each generation now, and like the Generation 4 legendaries, they had the 3 pixie ones. I don't remember the hell. Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf. Then they also had the time and space one. They had some heat lizard one. They had a Regigigas, Giratina, Cresselia, Fiona. Oh my god, they had a shit ton in this generation. The hell? Where does it stop?
You were literally speaking a different language.
Yeah, you
Hold on, let me
literally are
see.
like, what are you saying?
Let me see. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They had 12, 13, 14 in this one generation. 14 legendaries.
I like the legendaries, and I want more of them. But at the same time, I always felt more of a kinship to the Pokemon you had to work for, like Dragonite, stuff like that. The ones that like the game pretty much gives you the legendaries as long as you don't fuck up catching them and kill it. But they pretty much just give you them. It's just by the end of the game, you're at least gonna come up face to face with a legendary that you have to catch it. You just save your game right before, and there you go. Just go on, keep going. But the ones that I like are the ones that are like, hey, in order to get Dragonite, you gotta find this fucking random ass worm in a pond in the Safari Zone. You gotta
Oh, that was the worst.
train it, like
And
spend
it was
all of your time training, and it's like level 3, and all your other Pokemon are like level 56 by that point. So you got to spend
And you
all
had a
that time and
timer in the
effort.
safari zone. Like you'd get kicked out if you didn't get to the spot you had to get to
It
find
just
them.
felt like there was more of a pain. It's the same reason that I like personally. I don't know about y'all, but I never take my starter out of the party once I get it. So
No,
it's just
I
I
did.
feel more
Oh, stay there.
invested in the starter. It just stays there and never leaves. The other ones are a little bit more interchangeable depending. I always have a bird in there. Depends on the bird, but I think this time around it's a crow who's a badass.
Oh
I
yeah,
will
I've
never
named
take him
that
out of the
one
party.
Nightwing.
Yeah, it's so cool. But I've always liked the birds. I'm always a big fan of those too. But there's some that are like you never leave the party and you're invested in them, and those are more important to me than like here's something that you just can walk up to and click whenever you're ready. You know.
Pray you save the game before you fight it.
This one has autosave, so I don't know how this is gonna. I don't know how this works.
There's a
Oh, that's gonna suck.
manual
I
save.
always kill the legendaries at the first go.
Oh, you're gonna.
Every time I fought a legendary Pokemon,
can-
I always killed them. I'd be like, I just restart it.
Real quick, Bess, you know there's a manual save as well, right?
Yeah, but is there a manual load?
I don't know.
Because I haven't checked on that.
I've not. I don't know at all right now.
Because when you click save, it just says saving progress, and that's it. It doesn't ask for
you can
like an
turn it
override
off.
feature or anything like that.
You could turn it off.
The autosave?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm gonna fucking turn it off then because if I go to a legendary, knowing my luck, I will kill this son of a bitch.
I know I will.
Let me see.
I always do.
What I don't know. Legendaries are like the box art ones, but what are they for this one? Are there more than one? Hold on, let's see.
Yeah, there's an extraterrestrial alien that
hell
comes
is this
from.
thing? So there's
the
1,
Dark Souls
2,
dogs.
3,
They look like Power Rangers or it's
4. 5. There's technically 5 right now. That's about it. Which is that's a decent number, I guess. I think this one's from the expansion though. This panda looking one. So,
The
I
fighter.
don't know.
yeah, the panda, or I don't know. I guess it's a koala looking bear. That one's from the expansion apparently.
I always like the dragon ones though. I mean, I brought up Dragonite, but I feel like every gen has their version of that.
They did.
Like they had what's his name, Tyrannosaur or something in like the second gen. There's always like one that's 3 evolutions, but it's not easy to get to its final.
So they have
Get it strong.
They have a name for those too. I think they called them. Let me see, because it's on this website I'm on.
It's almost always a dragon. I feel like
pseudo legendaries.
Oh,
So they're like very high end, like very like take a long time to evolve. It's like yeah, for Gen 1 it was like Dragonite. Gen 2 I think it was Tyranitar. Let me see. Let's see, where is it? Gen 2. Yeah, it was Tyranitar.
well, like I would probably toss in Gyarados in there, even though he only has 2 evolutions.
He is not technically a pseudo legendary, so he's not one of them.
Yeah, I know, because he doesn't have a second evolution, but he was still difficult as shit to level because it was just a motherfucker that didn't splash. It's like, how do I level you up?
So apparently, pseudo legendaries
throw you out, I take you back.
Are ones that have 3 evolutions and are, besides the legendaries, have the highest like attack or whatever in the game. That's what makes them pseudo legendaries apparently.
I don't know. There was some that I considered rare also, like it basic. There was a lot of things in the Safari Zone in Gen 1,
like fucking Chansey. Like fucking can
Chansey.
never find that bitch and catch it.
Or the one that had the like kangaroo one that had the kid in the pouch.
Genghis Khan?
Yeah,
thank you. Yeah, that guy. Like that guy's always hard to find.
Khazid Khan? Whatever the fuck.
It's Genghis Khan. You were right the first time.
When I say Genghis Khan, it just sounds like it's not right.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I'm looking at the gen. Yeah, I remember I had all of these. Anytime I'm like, sometimes it's obvious too, like which one it is. Like in this one, I just got a skew or whatever is the one I found, and one of those little like weird Dynamax
Look,
fighting things.
There is just one thing I need both of y'all to do in this game, and that is to catch Ale Hooper Ring. Okay, once y'all do that, the game is over.
Right. I am going to catch him. I don't care if he's gonna be my favorite.
Okay, Shazad, I have him from a previous game.
You already got him?
He's in a previous game.
Oh.
Donovan, you ruined this for me.
I'm gonna tell you now, Bess, you can't get him.
Alehupa ring.
Why can't you get them?
Because in
I spelled
certain
it- oh my
certain
god,
ones,
I spelled it right.
so in certain games they give them like it was the event things you had to log in or go for it. So if you didn't do it at that point, you can't get some of the legendaries anymore.
Don't talk
Well,
to
that's
me.
stupid.
They made them to where they're really exclusive at certain points.
Well, that's ridiculous.
I think
You
they,
can't go catch it even if you buy the game now.
there are certain ones you can still do it for. Like I think in like Sun and Moon you can get a lot of legendaries, but I think certain ones you can't. Like I think one of the harder ones to get now is like Mew. Mew you
They used
cannot
to-
get.
Yeah, they used to do that shit all the time. It irritated the crap out of me because I would never be able to go to those things.
Yeah. So,
What is it like? Celebi was one of those.
yeah.
Oh god, that was the
You
hardest
had
thing
to
in the
go
world
to a
get.
Nintendo event, which I didn't know what that meant. Nowadays, I know that it's just go to GameStop. on a
GameStop, but
Thursday and-
back then was Toys R Us.
You know,
It was Toys R Us
yeah,
back
something
then.
like that. Like, but I always, in my head, if it's like you need to go to a games like a Nintendo, I just in my head I was like, it's going to be like a conference that I won't be able to go to, and it's like going to be in Japan. You know, not. I didn't know that it was just walk into a Toys R Us and the employees like, all right, here you go. Just enter
Right.
this code.
Yeah, but
It's the
they
mystery
made
gift,
those like
whatever.
some of these really exclusive, like Mew, Celebi, like those like the from our childhood. They made those really hard to get now. So I'm trying to figure out. Actually, no, I'll not just get my damn Switch because I actually could bring it in here and look at the ones I do or don't have. No.
Yeah, no, I miss
So,
I miss how like hard it was to do certain things in those games. Where it sounds like from with you guys, it's just gonna be like, just keep walking around. Hopefully, you'll find it sooner or later.
Yeah, that's one thing I like. I mean, I mentioned earlier that the fact that you can see the Pokemon is it takes away some of the surprise, but it's still fun. But also there is like a section in the game where it's just an open world kind of Safari Zone-esque thing. It's not like you get these Safari balls that can't do jack shit that are worse than Pokeballs, but it's more like, you know, you just have your own equipment and you just run around and do whatever the hell you want for as long as you want. But what I like about that is there's occasions where the weather changes in certain sections.
also, I think that
Unless-
changes what Pokemon show up, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's what I do like though, is because that means it encourages you to go back to that zone several times, because if the weather is suddenly it's snowing, you only see ice Pokemon and stuff. And me, I'm
So-
like nighttime, going to look for ghosts.
Alright, so-
You know.
I can't
Or
right
evolve an
now.
Umbreon.
So
Yeah,
I'm looking
I
at
definitely, if I was a trainer, if I was a Pokemon trainer, I'd definitely be a Sabrina-esque type. You know, I'd be the psychic or ghost type, 100%.
All right, so
Completely fire.
there's a total of 805
Fire
Pokemon.
or dragon?
Wait, no, there's more than 805. Like about 900 Pokemon
Oh.
now.
Now, would you be fire or dragon? Because they're different, but similar.
I'll be fire.
Dragon.
Because Charizard is not a dragon type, right?
He has a
He's
dragon
fire type.
form,
Even
though. He has
yet,
a dragon type
even-
now.
Even after the Mega Evolutions, he is.
Yeah, like I think the X version is the dragon type, so you can actually have Charizard and still be a dragon trainer.
Cool. So dragon it is. So yeah, I'd go with dragon. I'd be a dragon.
I do like the
Trainer.
birds, though. I've always been partial to the bird stuff.
So,
Here, hold on, let's look up.
so I do have. Is there any Pokemon I'm actually missing in these games?
Yeah, I'm sure. There's about 800 of them.
So far I have all the ones from Kanto.
So wait, you transferred everything over and everything's just sitting in your game now?
Yeah.
I don't even know how you.
Bassett, how many Pokemon you got? Like 3?
However many since I started playing the game, so probably about 30. I don't know. Because
Donovan, how many do
if
you
I
have?
get a new Pokemon, I just catch it.
On the top of it,
even
it
know
says
how
I
to
have
transfer.
805 total right now.
I don't even know how it would transfer them in the first place, though. I don't know how the one does that.
Yeah, I'm not missing any of them except for like the new region.
Because
Yeah,
I still have my games. I just I don't know the fuck. I do.
Yeah, I'm not missing any, bro. I'm not missing any of the Pokemon. I have all of them up to this point.
I didn't play 3 generations of the games. I'm never gonna get them.
But you have all the ones in Sword and Shield too.
No, not in Sword and Shield. That's I'm playing through that right now, so I don't have those yet. But everything before that, I have all of them.
Oh.
Let me see something real quick.
You're the person that Team Rocket would go after constantly, and me and Shazam
Oh, yeah.
ignored.
Yeah, me and
me and Shazad would be fucking top of the
Helping them.
Indigo League with only 6 Pokemon, and
So
you know.
before I came back here,
I would help Team Rocket.
Yep.
Before I came back here, I
100%.
was really bored and I kept playing the games. That's probably one of the reasons. To the point to where okay, I'm not sure if y'all remember. Like, did y'all ever encounter like the shiny Pokemon in the games?
I am not exactly
No.
sure what I'm looking at when it comes to that. They're just like different colors, right?
Yeah, different color schemes for it. So
How do you know they're shiny? Is it just per chance, or do they show up shiny?
they show up
I mean,
shiny.
I'm talking about Sword and Shield.
Sword
I
and
mean,
Shield, they'll show up shiny and then they'll have stars go around them. Like it'll pretty much, it's very obvious that they're different. But
it's chicken fight game.
but I'm saying it because like I have a lot of these Pokemon as shiny now because I randomly found them while playing all these damn games.
Yeah, but what would Pokemon be like in real life, you think? Like, what if, because do you think there was a time in the Pokemon universe that Pokemon was not a thing? That being able to capture them wasn't, like, somebody had to invent the Pokeball.
I think didn't they explore that in one of the movies or something. Like I think Professor Oak made the first Pokeball.
Probably. I have not
No, of course
seen
he did.
all of the movies, so I've besides the first movie, I don't remember.
You don't remember Ala Hooper Ring? You are terrible.
Look, man, that's the best movie ever made. That's not Pokemon. I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
Oh yeah, so
That's up there with the greats like Dragon Ball Evolution, you know, Batman and Robin, greatest movies of all time.
I'm sorry, what?
Fantastic Four stick.
I need you to go away.
All right, Shazad, when you ever get the game, I'll give you one of the Mews. Bastard, you're not getting one.
I don't want one. Don't give me that shit. Don't give me an advantage. I want to do it myself.
You'll never get it.
Apparently, I didn't go to whatever events Donovan attended.
I didn't have to go to events like online. They sent it to you as long as you logged in or whatever.
Well,
There's a-
nonetheless, I wonder if this would even be acceptable. I feel like there'd be more politics involved with Pokemon in a real life setting.
You'll have Pete on your ass.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean. Yeah. Because there already is politics involved with Pokemon, which there shouldn't be because it's just a kid's game. But I mean, it is just boiled down to chicken fighting.
Chicken fighting.
There's literally a chicken Pokemon now. Of course.
Just chickens fighting each other.
That's just a chicken. Are there real animals, or is Pokemon the animals?
I think there's
And
it's just animals. That's it. Because and I've read like some things like they eat Pokemon, like they eat the Magikarp.
There's 100%. They're just eating these creatures. Also, they're eating the creatures even if they're vegan, because the plants are Pokemon.
Yeah, a good bit of them. Yeah.
Brussels sprout, my favorite.
But
The
I
only one they're
wonder
not
how that
eating is
works.
Charizard.
What would be like a gourmet meal? Like, do you sprinkle some Bellsprout with some Weeping Bell
Yeah.
on top of a salad made out of pork chick? I don't
you
know.
might want
I
to be
bet they
careful
use sleep
because
powder and stuff for medicine.
I'm pretty sure some of the
So-
Pokemon themselves also eat people, so you may want to be careful which ones you're trying to eat.
Yeah, that pig one's eating everything.
Charizard. He's eating.
Oh,
people.
Charizard's eating everything.
Granted, Charizard's like short.
How do you catch a whale in this thing? Like, God, that would be so hard.
Let me see. Hold on. Where's
A fishing
Charizard's
pole.
Dex
The
entry?
same way you catch everything else in the water.
You think they like break down the onyxes and use them as like rubble to make buildings?
Or maybe the rubble is what Onyx
So-
comes from.
Charizard's height is 5'7".
Yeah,
I
no,
can take him.
Like I'm
Yeah.
not joking. He's 5'7". So
You're not. Well, I mean, in his gigantic form now, I mean, like, I'm sure that's going to be a little bit tougher.
I'm a little confused on what the Dynamax thing is. Isn't that's just making them big, right? There's
Is
nothing
that a
really
Some of
to
their
it.
is
some
that
of
a
them change and they get like better moves.
I don't
is it a
notice
permanent
any of them.
evolution?
No, it's
No,
not. It's
it's
temporary.
only you get 3 moves, but I don't because every single Pokemon that I have can do that. It's just like you wear a bracelet and it collects energy.
So depends on the Pokemon. Like they can change their form completely, like Charizard, for instance. But then other ones, they just become bigger versions of themselves, and their attacks become apparently stronger. But that's really it.
Their health goes up too.
Yeah. But that's
It's
really it.
very
Wait,
epic
these are
when it
temporary
happens.
evolutions?
They're temporary like
Like
forms, yeah.
It's not even an evolution. It's just they really just they
Like a
grow
power up?
big.
Yeah.
This can't be good for their bodies. Like I
No.
can't imagine getting that big and small just normal.
Well, when they go back to small, they literally explode.
What?
I think it
Yeah, they explode into fire and then they shrink.
Really can't be good for them.
It's also the only like there's you can fight Dynamax Pokemon. There's like these little holes in the ground
Oh yeah.
that you can just fight random Dynamax Pokemon and catch them. And it's different when you're fighting them. To catch them, you have to actually beat them 100%. Versus when you're catching a Pokemon normally, you just throw a Pokeball at.
Do you what was I gonna ask? Do you get like a special Pokeball to throw at them too?
No, it's just a
It's,
regular
it's a
Pokemon
normal
that becomes
Pokeball.
giant.
Yeah, for some
Oh, it
reason.
becomes giant somehow.
Yeah, to catch
Yeah.
the. I guess it uses the bracelet as well to catch the giant.
I
Pokemon.
could not imagine being a scientist in this world. Can you imagine just fucking every time you go to a new? How big is this world? They keep finding these big ass islands
I
and
don't.
regions and areas.
I don't know. Look up a map of how big this world is. I have no idea, man. They have 7
Yeah.
generations worth of this crap.
What was the other
Pokemon world
scientist
map.
name in the first gen? Because there was Oak, but there was another one.
There's another scientist.
Yeah.
There was a scientist in the second one.
There's always a new scientist.
No,
I'm like in the first one, I don't remember no scientist.
He was in this show too. God,
You're.
name.
I don't know who you're talking about. I don't remember this at all. Second scientist besides Professor Oak in Gen 1?
I want to say he went in like Route 2 or something. But yeah, there was another one in Gen 1. He was close to where Mewtwo was located.
I don't remember a second scientist.
Yeah, I don't think you got that confused with something else, man. I don't remember a second scientist at all.
God, could you imagine every time you go somewhere, there's just another world of 100 new Pokemon every fucking time? You're just like, I am never gonna catch them all. Like this song is fucking terrible. Oh, you think we could make a Pokemon rap like they did in the original show,
You want to do
but
it
with
for
all of the new Pokemon?
for all 900 plus whatever they have?
Yeah, you think we could do it? I think we could do it.
We probably could, but it's gonna take us a while. And do you want to do it in one
I-
breath?
Yes, one breath,
Oh, Jesus! Sorry, so you're on your
one
own.
Eminem breath.
One breath. Yeah.
I think we could do it.
I'm gonna leave that up to you.
Come on, I'm gonna need some help.
Sorry, what were we doing? I was trying to Google what the fuck this.
Do you remember the Pokemon raps at the end of the shows?
Don't talk to me.
Okay, so we're gonna do that for all the 900 Pokemon.
Well, they don't rhyme in there either. They just kind of list it, don't they?
Pretty much. I think we can do it,
All right,
but we have to say it all in one breath, like
I'll-
Eminem.
I'll leave it up to you.
All one. All. Come on.
How long do you
Come on.
think it would take to go through Pokemon if you, let's just say you just worry about what you have and you don't bother catching anything, you just go straight through the game? Through the
Well,
story.
catch your
Like
Pokemon. How
Oh,
would you
through
beat
the
game?
story, like you
Yeah,
just
you
catch
just-
6,
you
train
get
those.
your-
That's it.
Yeah, you get your first one and then you just go straight through it.
Oh, you don't catch anything else?
Yeah.
I'm-
I don't know. 45 minutes?
Blaine? Was it Blaine? No, that was the
that was the
gym
gym
leader.
leader.
Elm.
That was another professor in a different game, man.
That was a professor in like second or third.
It was after
don't-
the cave.
Dude, there was not another professor. I'm thinking you really.
There's only one professor.
I know there was.
There wasn't.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I think you've gone crazy.
I know what I'm talking. I just need to.
I don't think you do.
Trying to look him up.
No, I think you're wrong, bro.
Yeah, I think you're completely wrong.
It was when you go up this path near Cerulean Gym. He's to the right.
I think I know
The
what
right?
guy you're talking about, who was like right before the Mewtwo, but I don't think he was a professor, man.
Boom, 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 boom.
So you're just looking for this random professor now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't even know how to help you.
I'm gonna go with that. There wasn't a professor, not a second one.
That's what I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna have to buy a Switch and get this game just so I can play it, but I don't think I'm in a hurry.
Should have
I don't
brought it
think
when we
I'm in
did,
a hurry.
bro. Should have brought it when we did.
I can
Well,
wait
there's
for the new one to come out.
The new game or the new Switch?
New Switch.
There's a lot of fun stuff though on the Switch, just in general. Like regardless of, just outside of Pokemon too.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't, because I just got it, so I haven't played like Breath of the Wild or anything like that. But from what I hear, it's one of the better games.
I've seen like Breath of the Wild's game. It looks amazing, so I eventually need to get that one.
Anything else about Pokemon that y'all wanted to talk about?
I do. So I don't know if y'all have ever read the manga for it, but the manga itself is really fucking brutal. Like it's dark, kind of like Pokemon.
Don't they like
fight.
decapitate and fuck up people?
Yeah,
Bill!
They kill.
That's who his name was.
Oh, the researcher.
Yeah, I guess he wasn't technically professor, but he was
He
a
also-
scientist, right?
But he's the one who gives you the ticket or whatever to go on a boat.
Yeah, because he was in the series, though. I remember that. That's the one I was trying to think of. Is in the actual show, if my memory serves.
Probably, yeah.
Bill. Did Bill not have a last name? I guess not. He's just Bill.
I mean, did Professor Oak have a first name?
Yes.
Or is that his?
Professor. That's his first name.
He probably did. I just don't care to look it up right now.
But yeah, you should get a just Switch in general. I mean, if nothing else, your girlfriend likes like Mario Kart and stuff like that.
True.
So, and that has all, because that's I didn't get Mario Kart. I got Breath of the Wild. I got Pokemon Online because it was going to take a while for the games to get shipped. And then I got what's the other one? Smash Bros, which I've always been a fan of, which has Pokemon in it. Speaking of, actually, if it's a Nintendo game at this point, it has Pokemon in it. At least one makes an appearance. Like I'm sure Zelda put in a cameo or something somewhere in there. Maybe you don't even realize, but they all kind of interconnect. It's like a Stephen King universe. Somehow all of the Nintendo stuff connects. Maybe wait, is a mushroom from Mario a Pokemon?
I hope not. Mario's eating those
Also,
things.
What would you, Don? What would you be as far as Pokemon trainer?
Fire type.
He said
right?
fire.
I did say fire. Is either fire or I would be a dark type, because the amount of favorite Pokemon besides Charizard is Umbreon.
Man, see, I wouldn't, because Haunter is my favorite Pokemon, but I would be a ghost or psychic trainer if it was Gen 1, because the rest of them didn't really have anything interesting. Or they got too split up, I should say. There's a lot of like mixed Pokemon types now too.
Yeah.
Like some that aren't like I wonder if there's like a grass fire type.
There might be now.
Did they
would
mix
be
those?
so terrible. Can you imagine someone like one of these Pokemon's throwing like a razor blade on fire at you?
Yep.
Probably look that up.
But there's a lot of like there's a lot of like ghost dark types and shit like that, but there's a lot of mixed types of Pokemons out there. And some of them surprise you, like that's got to be a rock type, and then it ends up being like I don't know, a fire. Like there's one that's a new Pokemon in Sword and Shield that's just a mine cart.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He's so cool. He reminds me of like the Geodude type of. This version is Geodude, I guess.
Except I think if I wasn't able to become a dragon type, I'd do ice, like an ice type.
Really, ice
Pokemon.
Yeah, because that way he could use the ice penguin and the ice cream. He beats his enemies through shock. Like, oh my god, what is that? Is that a penguin? You trapped its head in ice.
I think ice penguins are pretty cool. Like not the ice penguin, but ice Pokemon are like pretty badass.
So what, like Jinx? Was Jinx ice type? I know you could find her in an ice cave.
Was. Yeah, it is.
I don't know. I always like the ice moves too. I think Ice Beam has been like my favorite. Like at any Pokemon that can learn it, this is what I'm teaching them.
Oh,
I was like Hyper Beam. I just hated they had to rest afterwards if you used Hyper Beam.
But the fact that I can get the Ice Cube Penguin, that's pretty much, and Ice Cream, I'm done. I'm picking all the weird ones too.
I will say that the games are at least pretty consistently fun, but the show is pretty consistently bad.
But I mean, you can get so that Ninetales from Aloha is Ice and Fairy.
Yeah, that's I like that one.
Articuno, Ice.
Wait, there's Fairy type?
What is that? Fairy types beat Dragon now.
Is that new?
Yeah, they introduced them in Gen 5, not 5, 7?
What is that?
The one thing about Dragon has been almost undefeatable.
Not now.
Except for Ice, but there's so few Ice Pokemon in like the early stuff.
No, it's ridiculous now because now they have the Fairy type and it kills dragons like
I need you to type and search. This is what I want for one of my top 6 for Ice Pokemon. Mr. Rhyme. Rime. I want him in my group.
The other version of Mr. Mime? No, it's Mr. Time now. Yeah. It's a no version.
It's Rhyme. Rime.
No.
He's got a mustache and an ice cane.
No.
That's what I'm going with.
So, whenever you get the fucking Switch, we can always do like we get on Switch, or if we decide to actually play online, we could either do this while we're having discussions now, or play Pokemon and like battle or whatever.
So there's a fighting type Pokemon that they introduced. I don't know. He's like wearing like a full karate outfit. I'm trying to find him.
I know what you're talking about. Because there's 2 of them. I think it's like Sock and I can't remember what the other one's called. This is in Gen. Let's see. Oh shit.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of
Sock,
cool
ones. SAWK.
Yeah, Sock. I don't remember what
Shazad, you can look this guy up.
Say the name. Spell it again.
SAWK.
Yeah.
SAWK.
Like hawk, but an S. So this fool, because the way the format of the game is, the Pokemon are just like walking around in the grass and shit. This motherfucker just walking around in the grass, and you pass him, and it's like I thought he was a trainer. And there's like an exclamation mark over his head, and he starts running at you. It's a terrifying sight because he's taller than even most of the trainers are. And I'm like, what is this? Get away from me.
So there's 3 different versions of that thing.
There's 3. I thought there was only 2.
Unless
I know the red one, but
maybe this one's like a fan art then. It looks like there's a yellow one too.
No, I think there's only 2. I think there's a red and blue one, isn't there?
I mean, it could be. This might be a fan one, like I said.
They're the Hitmonlee and Chan of, I guess, Sword and Shield. I feel like the red one came from an earlier one. Did he not?
No, he came out at the same time. Pretty sure.
Oh yeah, it is a fan art one. Like
his name's Throw.
Yeah, that's a stupid name. Well, Sock isn't any better.
Yeah, sock and throw. These are just Bird and Ernie of Pokemon. It's terrifying to watch this thing run after you, though.
That happens a lot because I remember I encountered like this giant stuffed bear when that ran after me. Like, the hell is this thing? It is terrifying. If that's the real world, like if that's how Pokemon are in the real world chasing you, then
That's just a grown man running at you. That's all it is. No, trust me, I'm a Pokemon.
What if what if you were like a glitch Pokemon trainer? Like, do you remember those in the game where there was just like a
you talking about the glitch?
what was a glitch? Was it Generation 2, I think?
No, I think was it. I thought the glitch was in Gen 1. Was it
That's a
not?
missing number or whatever.
Missingo.
Is that what you're talking about?
Missing no.
Yeah, that one. What if you just had 6 of those and that's what you fought with? And you're just like, what the fuck is this thing?
That just corrupts everybody's game every time they fight you.
It didn't corrupt. It only corrupted my blue version, but I did on yellow and red, and it never did. It never hurt my game. And all it was for is after you beat the Elite Four, you can just get infinite rare candies and master balls and stuff. But it's weird because that's the first gen is the game that has the least amount of legendaries that a master ball comes in handy.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like it's pointless to have an infinite amount. So it's like whatever, just keep it in there. I think that's what they decided to do once the glitch got discovered is just keep it in there.
I know one thing. The games that you need the master ball for are like Gen 2, where the legendary dogs like running around everywhere. You can't fucking
Oh, the
stop
fucking
them.
Anything
dogs.
anything that runs away from you because you
That
can't save in front
shit
of it.
was annoying. No way to ever just stop them from running. Just
You had to
Now-
be stronger than it and get the first attack in and hope to God you put the thing to sleep or confused it or
Now
shot it in the foot.
was Mew actually in the first gen, or was
Um,
it like a glitch also, or like
it-
a rumor?
I'm trying to remember. I don't think
I think it was a rumor. I don't think you could actually get
You
it.
couldn't get it. No, there was a glitch where you could get it, but officially,
Because I think yellow version was the first time I had Mew, right?
Yeah, I
And
think that was the first time
was
you
a
could get it.
community event.
yeah, it might have
But I
been for
don't
both of
remember
them, but I'm pretty for Gen 2 that was the first time you could actually get it. Maybe.
I remember when the ghosts were like you couldn't see them.
Oh yeah, you need like certain goggles or whatever to actually fight the ghosts in the tower.
That was
Oh
one
yeah,
of the
because they were
coolest
just
spots.
like they just look like generic ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like just a black shape, a shadow.
You could be an EV trainer, get all 38 versions of that.
It's not a bad idea.
It's
Just be an EV breeder. You're fine.
There is they don't put a new version of Eevee out every game, but they did put their most recent one was a fairy type one, which I like that one. It's very.
Did you know they gave them like personalities and shit? Like somebody gave them like a personality and said the fairy one was like the cheerleader in the school.
Yeah, so Eevee is actually just out of their mind. They're just
Yeah.
a personality disorder. It's like the guy from Split. It's just I've not seen this fairy one before until now.
It's pretty. I like that one.
Interesting. I was always partial to Vaporeon. I didn't
always
really
got
care
Flareon.
for Flareon. I didn't like the.
I like Jolteon from the original ones.
I always got Flareon.
I mean,
That's all I
Umbreon,
wanted.
Umbreon and the other one was cool too.
Umbreon, like I said, is my favorite, and the other one I think, second one was Espeon.
Yeah, they were pretty dope. And they introduced the Leaf Stone, which is weird. They didn't have that in the first game.
Which is weird that these stones are just randomly found.
Imagine somebody threw a rock at you and you. It
You
forced your
evolved?
Yeah, it forced your body to change.
Fuck just happened to me? Why'd I grow 7 more arms? What? Why am I on fire?
What is Pokemon Quest? I've not seen this before.
Could you imagine? You know what my favorite game in Pokemon was though? The trading card game.
Oh, the one on a Game Boy.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I love that. Still didn't know how to play the game, but I won.
I
I was like, maybe this will teach me. Didn't learn the damn thing.
I only played it when I was with my cousin, so I didn't have very much
Actually,
experience with it.
really liked the N64 Pokemon Stadium.
I had both of them, the original and then the gold and silver.
They're so cool. I think they were cool because they took what the games did on the Game Boy and you could just see it on the TV. But it was
And kind of what the anime did.
Yeah, what the animations did too for like the flamethrower and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, because you could do other stuff besides just fight too.
Yeah.
I think that was the enjoyable part.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
I don't know
Pokemon Quest, whatever.
Pokemon Quest. This sounds familiar. I don't know what that is though. Was that on a
It's
GameCube?
It looks
thing?
like a MMO RPG. No, it's a Switch game.
It's a Switch game? The fuck?
Yeah.
Let's see. Pokemon Quest.
This looks weird. You know, I'm not a big fan of in the new games.
Oh
is the
god, what's
cooking.
it's very blocky. It's like Minecraft.
Yeah.
Let's see, what is this? Pokemon Quest. It says apps on gameplay. Wait, no, let's see. Hold up. It is for Nintendo Switch. Okay.
Okay. So
Bassett, would you get a Mega Gengar?
I don't know that I've seen this.
The Mega
A
Gengar.
moment, please.
It's huge in. Isn't it? Is it white?
See, as much as I like
It's weird
the
looking.
ghosts. Oh yeah, it looks weird. I like the white version though.
Mm-hmm. There's two versions of it, I think.
I would probably just have both anyway.
I would have both Charizards.
See, as much as I like Ghastly and I like Haunter. Haunter's my favorite, but I was never really a big fan of Gengar because he just looked like an egg.
I would get the Mega Evolution of Alakazam.
The one with the
Alakazam was
spoons?
badass. It just sucked you had to trade him to get him.
Well, his Mega Evolution's even better. He's got a beard.
Oh, the lone
Just a wizard.
ancient beard. Yeah. Oh shit.
I don't know how I feel about Mewtwo's Mega Evolutions because there's
The
two of them. I think.
weird ones, like the one that's like a freaking alien with the giant head.
Oh, it looks like Frieza fucked up and stuck between something.
Yeah, those things. Okay, that one is weird.
My favorite part about Alakazam was that the more he evolved, the more spoons he had.
Yeah.
that was his superpower. Charizard's is badass though. His Mega Evolution is so cool.
I like the black one better.
Yeah,
I think.
I like
X
that
version?
Kangaskhan's evolution is just
The
now
baby is
kid
out the
is
pouch.
in front of him. Yeah, that's it. The baby is grown up, gone to college.
Did you see Alakazam's one Mega? He has 5 spoons.
Is it only,
Yeah.
is it only 5? That's it? I thought you would have
He needs
more.
Is that how he evolves? You just keep giving him spoons?
Can you imagine?
Did they
Shit! I gave it a spoon again. Damn it!
Did they ever bring back Rayquaza after Emerald?
Yeah, you can still get that one. I'm not sure how you would get them in this version of the game though, because I know in the Sun and Moon version, you was able to get like all the legendaries by doing certain events, certain things inside the game.
Oh, another one that creeped me out was this like robot Glork.
Glork.
Yeah, he was walking around just randomly. Also, it's Golurk. I just saw him randomly in the wild. It's just a transformer.
Oh, I know what
Just
you're talking about. The giant, like the big ass stone
a
looking
robot.
golem, the golem stone
Yeah.
robot. Yeah.
Oh, they had him in. Did they have him in Detective Pikachu?
Yes, he was in there. Actually, we didn't even talk about
Did
the
he
movie.
make
That's
an
weird.
appearance or something? I forgot it was a movie. I haven't seen it in so long. What
These
is
Mega
this?
Evolutions are fucking with my head.
In a bad
Oh,
way,
that's
or
cool
like
looking.
Some of these are weird and unnecessary. Like Gyarados. What the fuck?
Gyarados is always weird. I don't.
And Pidgeotto just got more colors.
I love Gyarados, bro.
I'm not
Gyarados
saying
is
it's a
cool.
bad Pokemon.
I do not like the Mega Evolution of Gyarados. I do not like that.
Why is Slowbro? He got swallowed by the fish on his tail.
Oh, wait, he's inside the shell for some weird reason.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
just-
more confused. I do like Steelix's. That looks pretty cool. One of them just got a bigger jewel.
Are all of these real, or are these some of these fan art, or
No, I think all
No,
these are
they're
real.
all
They're all real.
Bulbapedia. These are all real. Dang, Rayquaza looks cool. I don't know how I feel about legendary Pokemon getting Mega Evolutions.
They probably shouldn't have got them. They probably made them a little bit too strong or too
Yeah,
weird.
I was like, they're legendary. It's like, what the fuck?
fucking Houndoom, bro? Goddamn Hellhound.
I liked Houndoom, man.
Holy
Houndoom was
shit.
badass.
I like how one of them got he just turned his legs backwards, like the meta gross. His legs aren't. He can fly now. Like what the fuck?
Oh, okay. I remember.
And
I don't.
Salamances look cool because his wings just became moons.
He became
I
a
need a
croissant.
supernatural.
That's
Yeah, what the fuck?
I need a supernatural episode of Sam and Dean just transporting to a Pokemon world.
You're never gonna get that, bro. The series is over.
Never
I
get
want to
it.
see. I want to see what they would do. Oh, there's no way that. I mean, even though the show has ended on CW, I bet they continue it somehow. Whether it be a
Some of these were
spin-off,
cool, and some
animated book series, they will 100% continue that show.
Honestly, do it to where like somebody else takes over for Sam and Dean.
Supernatural would work great as a comic book.
I think it is a
I'm
comic
surprised
book, man.
it's not.
I think it is.
I wonder who. If it is, I wonder who.
I want to say it's like Dark Horse, but I'm not sure. I might be wrong about that.
Okay, so there are a few of them. DC Comics.
DC Comics does them. Oh yeah, because they
Yeah.
do the Scooby Doo crossover and everything. They own Scooby Doo, don't they?
Yeah, it's Warner. Yeah, it's Warner Brothers. I mean, it's the CW. I wonder if Warner Brothers owns CW. I actually don't know that. I don't know. Anyway, I don't think I have. I'm all Pokemon out.
That's all I've got. All
I
right.
don't have much to say about it.
All right. Well.
Sounds about right.
Well, that would do it for this one. If you want to see this again, check it out on the YouTube channel. Yes, you can find us all on YouTube at I Choose Anime. Till next time, everybody. Later.